Hello and welcome to the Lambchop's review of the Sena Prism. Here it is. Let's crack it open. Now this is currently the latest camera. Sena are really targeting, or seem to be targeting, motor vloggers with their products. I already run a 20S Intercom, so if you already run a 20S Intercom, this Sena Prism camera has a lot of really nice integration features with the Intercom. So first of all, here's the camera. This is what you get. This is the deluxe kit, I think they call it. This is the one with all of the mounts and everything. I think there's a light version. This isn't the light version. So in here you get a little box. I have had this open before, with all your camera mounting hardware for your helmet. You get a waterproof case, waterproof to 40 meters, I believe, and you get the actual camera itself. Going down to the next level, you also get another, opening up the box, you get a whole host of goodies. Let's get them out. First of all, before we get into all of the mounting arrangements, let's look at the actual camera itself. Now it's reasonably small. I'd say it's a similar size actually to a GoPro 4, very similar size. Similar sort of weight as well. It's got a nice quality feel to it. It doesn't feel cheap. It's really nicely finished. All the plastic components are very nice indeed. It comes with a battery. I think about an hour and a half life on the battery, similar to the GoPro. Mainly all the same features as the GoPro really. The only thing which lets it down from a feature perspective is a lack of 60 frames per second at 1080p. You can do 60 frames at 720, but no 60 frames at 1080, which is a shame. But the actual picture quality of this is also fantastic as well. Okay, so to operate this little bad boy, hold both those buttons down to turn it on. On she comes. And cycling through the back button will change the modes, and this LED actually changes colour to easily identify what mode you're on. So you've got the usual sort of modes here, still capture, sort of burst mode, time lapse, and into the setup menu, and then back to video. To actually record, just press that button down, and she will start recording. Press again to stop, and if you've got an intercom connected, it'll tell you what it. Well, I can say if you've got a Sena intercom connected, it will tell you when it stops and starts recording, which is fantastic. Really nice to know you're actually recording. How many times you've been out and thought you're recording and you wasn't, but that should no longer be a problem, I hope. Turn it off. Just hold those two buttons down, and she turns off. Simple as that. To access the back, you basically push that down, that little flap, and that will then release this back door, shall we call it. Within there you have a little clip which retains the battery. You have a micro USB connector, your SD card, and also a TV out. One thing I find tricky is actually removing the battery. Flipping that little clip right into the top, there it goes, to eject the battery, is not the easiest thing in the world. Yeah, that's the battery. So it's a similar lithium ion that the GoPro uses. It uses a similar sort of time as well. I think you're looking about an hour and a half max battery life on that. Now, where this camera really comes into itself and into its own is when you have an existing intercom system. Now, I've only tested it with the 20S Intercom, and it works fantastically well with that. When you stop and start recording, actually via the intercom, it will tell you recording stopped, recording started, which is fantastic. And the other great thing about it is you don't need to plug in an external microphone in this. It has an inbuilt microphone, but it also connects to your microphone within your intercom. And then the other great thing with that again is if you're in a group intercom with multiple people, it will pick up everyone else's audio within that intercom group will come through on the camera, which is the main reason I wanted this, because I do a lot of group intercom videos, and to get everyone's audio all recorded on my camera would be fantastic, but I've yet to test that yet. So mounting the Sena to your helmet, you get in the box something called the helmet mounting parts, and within that you get a bracket. This is the main way you're meant to mount it. It's a similar type design to the Intercom, where it slides up under your lining between your helmet and your outer shell and basically tightens down with a nut and a bolt type arrangement, which is very solid indeed. But the thing I don't like about that is then that mounts on your helmet, and then you have this piece which slides down, and you have a little clip to actually clip in your camera. So you could clip it in the top, and it slides into the bottom and clips in like that. So that is now solidly mounted on there. But the issue I have with that is there's no way to have the outer waterproof casing on. So yes, you can mount that to your helmet like that, obviously the other side, that'll be pointing backwards, but if it starts to rain, or not so much the rain because that is water resistant, but it's the stone chips. I get a lot of stones, and the amount of GoPro glass faces I have to replace from stone chips, that if you get stone chips on your actual lens, absolutely ruin your camera. I don't know how you go about getting a new lens for the end of the Prism. So I really like my, even though it's not raining, I like my cameras to be within their protective casing. And then if you smash and get a stone chip on the end, it's just a case of buying a new casing, and you can probably get a new glass end for that as well. I'm not sure, I've not looked into that yet. But so yeah, so I like my camera, great as that is and neat as that is. I mean, look at that profile, it's fantastic for wind resistance and stuff, but I couldn't run it not in its case. I'd be too worried about it getting damaged, so I'd like it in here. So you put it in the waterproof case. It has a nice little locking system like that, really very well thought out, very neat. So you need to then mount that to your helmet. Well, I do, because I don't like using that without the case. So then you have another mount which comes with the helmet, which is this one here, which is a normal sticky type mount, similar to the GoPro. I mean, the actual base things on these look almost identical to the GoPro ones, almost identical, until you come to use a GoPro actual camera mount in there, and it's very tight. Now, whether it's something which would loosen over time, I don't know. When this is a GoPro one, if you try and push a GoPro one onto it, it will go, but it's really tight, and it was very hard to remove. So even though they look identical to the eye, they're not exactly the same. So bear that in mind. So I use the Sena mount like that, and then they have this nice screw type arrangement. There we go, nice and secure, and that's just like your normal sticky mount, similar to your GoPro basically. So within your mounting hardware, which is excluding what you get for the helmet mount stuff, I mean, look at this, you get a fantastic dual sticky mount, not sticky, suction cup mount. So you can actually put that on your tank, put that anywhere. I mean, that's amazing with the two different suckers. That gives you a real good extra bit of security. You get a handlebar mount like so. You get a normal mount which uses the normal stick-on mounts. And the way the Sena works, also a strap mount for having on your wrist or whatever, which I do like. But the way this works now, when you switch to the other mounting, it's slightly different again. You have these little pieces which basically screw onto the bottom of the camera directly. Yeah, 5p, that just tightens that up. Have a handy 5p with you. So once you have that little piece on the bottom of the camera, you can then plug it into these different mount arrangements. So it is very versatile. You also get an alternative back door with a slightly open back, if you want to have it on your helmet and actually just get some ambient sound, shall we say. You have that option with the open back door. It's great that you get all that kit with the camera. I mean, the camera isn't a cheap camera, it's well, it actually started off very expensive, sort of comparable with the GoPro Hero 4 Black, but then there's been a big price reduction on this, and you can get them now for just under £200. So it makes it an attractive proposition, being a fair bit cheaper than the GoPro 4. what we have now is we have the Sena connected, and also we have the GoPro connected, and we're all recording. Audio wise, this is the audio from the Sena through the Bluetooth directly to the device itself through the 20S. This is the audio through the GoPro with an external microphone connected. I think the audio is slightly better on the GoPro, only marginally, but you do have to faff about with the mic. The amount of times my mic has popped out on my GoPro as well, and I haven't realised, and I've recorded no audio when I've got home. You don't have to worry about that sort of thing with the Prism, which is great. So it's also like a backup audio as well if I'm recording with both cameras, which is fantastic. Picture quality on the Prism is good, extremely good. This is a Hero 4 Silver. Is what you're comparing this to. This is a garage lit environment as well. It's not particularly bright in here. Let's try and zoom in on some stuff sort of so you can have a look and compare the two, the colour reproduction and all that sort of thing. There you go. There's a quick comparison between the audio and the video of the two devices, of the two cameras, should I say. It's a Sena Prism. It's an excellent camera. I think it is good value when you consider all the accessories you get with it. Two things which let it down for the Prism 2 Sena, please. 60 frames per second is a must. Have to have 60 frames per second, and also a way to set your shots up either with an LCD screen on the camera or with the app. Get a preview working. But there we are, Sena Prism. If you're in the market for a camera, you don't want to faff around with external microphones. If you already have a Bluetooth headset, preferably a Sena one, because the audio quality is slightly better that way. But if you already have a Sena headset and you want an action camera to go with it, then the Prism is a really good option for you. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to recording group intercom conversation. That is a fantastic feature. Can't wait to try that. And also my future videos, you'll be able to see that as well. So if you subscribe, look out for my future videos, and we can get some full intercom conversations being recorded. I like the fact that you've got no microphone to plug in, so you can mount the camera in a different place on the bike and still have your audio. So I can mount the camera down here and still pick up my audio from the 20S. That would be fantastic. And also that's great on track as well, because you can then still record audio while you're on track. So it's a fantastic bit of kit, and I can't wait to get out there and actually use it. But I hope this review's been useful. I'll do a follow-up one and let people know when that Prism's being used when I'm out on the bikes. Again, we can do some audio testing to see what sort of ambient sound that the Sena picks up compared to the GoPro exhaust notes and stuff. Thanks guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was useful if you're in the market for an action camera. If not, I hope you enjoyed my ramblings anyway. But thanks very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.